Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games, here to do my weekly comic review. This one's going to be a little spicy. Ghost Peppers from Image Comics. This is by Ludo, Lullabi, I think that's pronounced. It's Lullabi. He is both our artist and our writer and creator. And I'm going to start off by saying this book is really a great departure for people who aren't necessarily into just straight up superheroes like, Superman, Fantastic Four, that type of thing. And the artist is also from Battle Chaser series. So the art style is very, I'm going to flip to a page here. It's very anime influenced, but not anime duplicating. So some of the bold moves and strokes are there. So we start off with what looks like a guy preaching about our great Savior. And the great Savior saved the world from the Cinder, which, I don't know, looks like kind of like a Titan from Attack on Titan. But he, by heavens, in their mercy, they sent us a Savior. Him and his army. And he attacked straight into the fight, taking out the Cinder. And we find out that this guy is just a guy with a fancy helmet. Supposed to remind everybody of the Cinder, as he basically now asks for people to give him coins for telling the blessed story of their Savior, Batar. And it's spelled B-A-T-A-A-R. And he's kind of dissatisfied with people not giving him near as much coin as he thinks they should. And one little kid is noted as only giving him 1 coin. And the reason why? So he can get noodles from our main heroine. Loloi is her name. It's L-O-L-O-I. That's her name. And her secret ingredient for her noodles is essence of ghost pepper. Just a little dab will do you. If you ever eaten ghost peppers, unless you really like hot stuff, a little dab is all you need most of the time. Much more of that will kill the flavor because all you can taste is the heat. Anyway, the kid is super happy with his food. She runs a mobile food truck. And this is actually like a really, I'm kind of zoom in here. That is a really cool truck design. Very, I don't want to say Mad Max because anything post-apocalypse, most everybody kind of compares to Mad Max. Because having, tires on the top of it probably isn't really a Mad Max thing. But it is, an odd kind of super futuristic, but like a necessity type situation. So probably like to prevent rollovers, things of that nature. Anyway, she is selling food in this, I guess you'd call it a city, but it's part of this giant chain. I'm going to assume that's going to come up later on in the series. But there's a security droid that detects an anomaly, and it goes barreling into town. And as it's barreling into town, this other food truck driver gets furious about the fact that every time she shows up, his business goes to garbage. And they're actually showing the top of his little food truck there. There's nobody there but him. I'm guessing it's his wife or family member, and the guy he force feeds his apparently terrible soup to. And when the security droid shows up, what's it called? It's called a Mako. It spits out 3 little eggs, for lack of a better word. And these quickly hatch into kind of pointy-headed robots that are going to come after the anomaly. Now, everybody initially assumes, and I did too when I was first reading it, they're coming after Lullabi. They're not. They're after her customer who's sitting there eating. And somebody's talking to him. And they basically threaten to blast him. And as he's eating, and they're threatening to blast him, he kicks her truck out of the way with a simple shove of his foot. So this guy isn't regular. And this kind of like robot thing that's on his shoulder literally says, seriously, can't you see he's in the middle of a meal? It's disrespectful to disturb people like this. I wouldn't push my luck if I were you. And he just continues trying to eat his noodles. But they go ahead and they blast him. And she initially thinks he's been disintegrated. But instead, he is mad and he is behind them. And he starts ripping them apart. And he informs us that his name, or you can call him Ash. Then we cut away from Ash and her to this guy who is in charge of monitoring the Cinder. And the Cinder is been moved to the moon. That's his prison. That's where everybody praises B'Etor for getting rid of the Cinder. And all they did was stick him on the moon. But this one guy is informing, and he looks like a parrot robot or something, that they had an anomaly from one of their little attack droids that apparently ran away in fear instead of waiting for orders. And this was the last visual image before he disengaged the... Alright. And upon seeing this guy loses. Like, no, this is impossible. He can't be there. And he immediately abandons his whole, I have to watch the Cinder, and he has to go to, I think it's headquarters. He has to go to the capital immediately. The balance of the world is in jeopardy. And she's sleeping. The truck's driving on automatic. Gets an alarm. Road obstruction. She gets out. And I'm guessing out of just pure frustration, she's trying to lift the stuff blocking the road out of the way. And then all of a sudden, as she's trying to lift, it just gets yanked up off the ground. And it's Ash. And he wants to know why he was sleeping in the back of his truck. And we find out that the name of his little robot companion, I guess it's a robot, is Jimny. And then he's like, she knows your name? It's like, you don't remember? We met whenever, you kind of lost it in town and I had to put you to sleep, where you started killing, everybody. And so she asked him, or the robot asked her to basically give him a ride. And then she's like, here's, replacement noodles. And then she starts doing a prayer because they're out in an area where you're supposed to give thanks to B'Etor for saving everybody. B'Etor? What's she talking about? I mean, he's confused by it. And the ground starts shaking, and another big robot shows up. And it goes into defense mode, and she yells at him to get in the truck and tells everybody to calm down. And after he gets in the truck, she basically gives an offering to the robot, and it kind of goes away. And the guy who's researching all this is like, finds out the anomaly about the robot goes in the fence mode, but then immediately comes back out of the fence mode. And he's like, oh, it's definitely him. And we get informed he's arriving at their destination, which is, of course, is the capital. And he says, you know, we have to destroy him. You know, for the sake of the world that we've created in the last few decades. All right. First issue gives us hints about what's going on, but not full detail. So a lot of stuff is still missing. The art style is very beneficial to the story, which it should be, of course, since the writer and the artist are one and the same. The flow of the panels is very good. You know, I got a very good kick out of the action sequence of her, you know, making her special food. You know, very mysterious. You know, who is this super strong guy who, according to one guy, shouldn't be there? Why is he there? We also have the lack of information of, you know, who put the cinder on the moon. I got a couple of personal theories. Don't know which ones will pan out yet. But this is actually, for a $5 book, this is a very thick comic. A very informative issue, number one. The art is really good. I like the color. Lucas is the color. I can't really get the name, the first name pronounced correctly. But if you want a book that's not about superheroes, but it's very fast-paced, very entertaining, has kind of a post-apocalyptic feel, you know, post-end of the world feel, this is a great book for you. It's one I want to personally pick up and collect. I do highly recommend it. It's very well done. Check it out. Keep it spicy, and I'll see you next week.